104.7 The Cave, Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens in the studio, Dark Side of the Stream, episode 152. Jay's pick this week, Untold, Johnny Football.
Whatever happened to Johnny Manziel? I was always curious.
That's why he picked this documentary.
I was always curious.
I can tell you what happened to him.
There it was. Look at me on Netflix. There he was.
He squandered all his talent. He ain't doing nothing. That's what happened.
He's got to be like a businessman now. He's out of the NFL. He's got to be making millions somewhere, right?
Nada.
What the hell?
Well, we can either talk about the end now or we can build to that.
Yeah, we kind of just spoiler alert.
Well, let's start.
No, I honestly was like, cool. I'm curious to hear his story, how it panned out. Whoa, he did not get his stuff together.
Just for reference, if you ever go, or if Jay or myself ever have a Wikipedia page, which we should, but we don't, and you go through someone's page and the list of accomplishments and your problems,
I don't just say
the controversies part of that page is larger than your accomplishments, you have an issue, and such is the case with Johnny Manziel.
Well, let's start at the beginning. Let's rewind back.
Yeah, it's a crazy story.
He was a good college player, right? High school, college player.
High school,
amazing,
college.
Right?
He was unbelievably good. He's a Texas kid, and if you know anything about Texas football, those families, those kids, they work their butt off. That's why, of course,
Friday Night Lights. That's what
Patrick Mahomes, Texas kid. I mean,
if
you want to, sometimes families will move to Texas, so if they have a talented kid, just so they can play in certain high schools.
Which his dad did that, right? Transferred in to play for this other coach that was a little more hard nosed.
And that I will say that. I know that Jay likes to pick these documentaries with certain people because he knows it gets me fired up. Because when it comes to guys,
I would have made you watch Jake Paul.
I know, but at the same time, especially in this case,
it's football season.
It's like, dude, why? It's so aggravating when you see guys that act like this. But there is a reason, and we'll get into that. But I will say, going into this, I was like, God, Jay, why'd you pick this? But in the beginning, when you start to kind of see where he was in the talent that he had as a kid, it's really cool. It's also really sad because, and like I talked about a couple days ago when we were talking about this, like Aaron Hernandez is a good example of a really talented kid where at some point someone should have stepped in and said, hold on. You are an incredibly tapounted young man.
Stop rolling around with those clowns.
Your brain hasn't developed enough as an adult to where you can use. It's like with great power comes great responsibility. You have all this talent, but you haven't developed as a person enough to be in situations where you can make smart choices as far as what you need to do in your life, i.e. all the controversies he's had. Because if someone would have stepped in and said, hey, whoa. Maybe you should finish college. Maybe you shouldn't declare for the NFL just yet. Maybe, all these different steps in his life where someone should have said, hey, hold on. I can kind of see the writing on the wall. Pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes.
I think maybe
nobody did.
I think maybe at that point it's even too late, because if you're in college playing and they want you to come out early to make millions and millions of dollars,
it's hard.
You got to do it, man. You got to do it.
But you don't, though. That's the thing. There are a lot of kids that
you're risking it all, though, man.
I get it, and you are. But what's he have now?
Well, that's why I think the problem started prior to that.
But still, that's what I'm saying. With your argument, if you don't take the money and you still screw it up, what's the difference?
Yeah, it wouldn't. I don't think it would have made a difference if he would have stayed in college.
I mean, who knows? It's all hindsight.
He was goofing off in college the whole time.
He was goofing off. I'm sure he was goofing off as far back as high school. I mean, he got busted with the fake ID when he was still a minor. So it wasn't
personality, I think, he's just a wild dude that happened to be talented at football.
Could have been. We'll talk more about Johnny Football in this episode, Dark Side of the Stream, next on 104.7 The Cave. .7 The Cave, Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens back in the studio. Dark Side of the Stream, episode 152, Untold, Johnny Football.
Can I just say these Untold series are really good?
Some of them are really good. It gives you a little bit more insight into certain things that you may thought you
knew the story, but maybe not,
your kind of pieces. Yeah,
the fake dead girlfriend one was great.
Dude, that one was real.
I just watched the Hall of Shame one. That was a great one about steroids.
The fake girlfriend one. I feel so sorry for that dude. So sorry.
Another college player, very talented.
Crazy story
in the NFL.
Yeah. Crazy story. Anyway, we're talking about Johnny Football, and we left talking about him getting busted for a fake ID when he's a minor. But even after that, he would go to the Manning Passing Academy, which is a pretty big deal.
Prestigious deal, yeah.
And got kicked out for oversleeping.
Yeah, he didn't show up. He kind of said, screw it. His work ethic was crappy. The one thing I noticed that, when they had him, when they busted him for signing autographs for money or whatever, I don't see how that's a problem, man. If
not now, it's not. I mean, the NCAA is like,
have they changed the rules?
Well, I don't know about the autographs
money?
thing, but the athletes can now make money with endorsement deals and stuff, and it makes sense.
Can they really? Good, because yeah, it's terrible. Like if you're really good at making computers and you're in high school, start selling computers, there's no problem.
Yeah,
if you play music, I played in bars in high school and it got paid.
Hell yeah.
Why can't you do it being a football player? It's the weirdest thing in the world.
Well, it's changed now. And why does a university get all the money?
Right.
In the NCAA.
Not good.
And now that's changed. But the autographs thing, yeah, again, that at that point was illegal. But you did say something though, and that is work ethic. And that is something that, again, they didn't help this guy develop. He had extreme amount of raw talent.
Right. And sometimes that gets you by so far. So,
And that came really easy to him, but no one actually taught him that sometimes the journey is better than the goal, right? So he didn't get to develop, again, all these other things that may have helped him in his personal life on the field as well, because it was just so easy. Pick up football, throw it over that mountain.
It does make you lazy if you're really good.
Yeah, because he didn't have to work for it. Never had to understand how to figure that out. But yeah, it just kept getting worse and worse. Eventually, he would declare after his time in Texas A&M for the NFL draft. He became a Brown, which Cleveland.
That was a tough one too to go there. Didn't make things better.
No, it didn't. And then I always cracks me up about him being in the casino, like he was sick, but he was at a casino when they're supposed to play their last game, and then it's like, man. Again, all of these things come down to one root thing: is that the kid just didn't care. And no one checked him on it.
Right. And you would think, you get out of the NFL, you have all this money, you'd probably be in business somewhere.
At least invest it, right?
He's still goofing off. That's the craziest part of it all. He's still
just well, we'll get to a little bit more, because that wasn't it. It wasn't just after the college and NFL. He still had some time and still some more stupid mistakes to make. And we've got plenty left to talk about in this episode of Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave. (104.7 The Cave). Jay Stevens, Mike the Intern in the studio. Dark Side of the Stream episode 152, Untold, Johnny Football. I know it's going to feel like we've spent this entire episode just dogging one guy, but it's kind of deserved, and we're talking about factual stuff that happened.
Might be
here.
One of the biggest busts ever, right? Ryan Lee for him. Who's the bigger bust?
I would probably, Manziel probably, because of, again, the raw talent he had and what he could have done with it in some regard if he had developed as a person and as an athlete. But again, if certain things come easy to people and they never have to work for anything, they're never going to have to learn. They're never going to learn that as they get older. And obviously he didn't. But one thing I also wanted to bring up was when Rosenhaus dropped him, his agent. That was the first time in 27 years that guy dropped.
Yeah, agents ain't going to let you go.
An NFL player.
They want that money.
So that should tell you something. That guy would stick with a lot of people through a lot of bad things.
He probably rode through some gun charges with guys. He rode through some DUIs with guys. No problem. We'll get through this.
And probably all in the above. And for some reason, the writing on the wall told this guy, hey, this ain't worth the time.
Get out.
So obviously, after that, he would go into kind of different football leagues. He was in the Spring League. He was in the CFL, AAF, FCS, as recent as 2022, I believe. And pretty much that's it. He's tried to kind of do some indoor football stuff with some buddies that are investors. But after that, all that money, all that talent for naught.
Why don't we bring him out here for the Springfield Lurkers Arena?
No,
can we start that movement?
I mean,
bring Johnny in.
Do you really want him? Do you really?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like he needs a good friend. I'd be a good mentor. For
Jay
him.
and Johnny. That sounds like a wonderful sitcom.
That's the reality show. Johnny Manziel. See you guys, two opposite guys.
I'm a former football player, and
I'm a
we're
rocker
friends.
dude.
It's Johnny and Jay.
He looks like he can party,
dude. That would. Oh God, we
Let's
come up
reach
with the
out.
best ideas on this thing. I'm
Dude,
gonna
it
start
starts
writing a
next.
sitcom.
I don't think they have a quarterback yet for their team here. Let's
get him here,
let's
and then
start
we'll
the
shoot a
Johnny Manziel
sitcom.
movement.
Johnny and Jay, and that's the
I'm emailing the
sitcom.
lurkers this afternoon.
We're gonna figure this
I'm
out.
gonna email the GM.
I just need a piece of this pie. Can I write the episodes, or
Can we get Johnny Manziel? Dude, you know how much press coverage we would get?
you would? I would be in the back scene, just kind of puppet mastering.
We'll bring
the
him
whole
in
thing.
here on Monday mornings after the games, and we can talk about the game. Ned would love it.
Jay and Johnny.
Ned Reynolds. We'll
The
bring Ned
sitcom.
Reynolds in too.
I don't know. We'll see if that can happen. I
Maybe.
wonder how much he costs. Probably not a
Maybe.
whole lot. Either
Maybe.
way, we'll give you our reviews next. Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave. .7 The Cave. Mike the Intern, Jay Stevens back in the studio one more time. It is Dark Side of the Stream, episode 152, Untold Johnny Football. I got it right. So I thought we did a pretty good job, especially in the last break, and not using this entire time just knocking Johnny Manziel. Came up with a really good idea for a sitcom, Jay and Johnny, and hopefully we can get
Johnny
him into town.
plays for the Springfield Lunkers, and him and I do a reality
plays for
show.
the Springfield Indoor Football League. That'd be great.
Yeah,
Start the
arena
movement,
league.
get that GoFundMe started, and let us know where we can donate. So how many deflated footballs would you give this documentary?
How many unsigned footballs?
Unsigned, just bare bones Wilson footballs.
3, you know.
Yeah,
I was
solid.
curious where he was, and
I knew
found
the
out.
answer.
I didn't know the answer at all. See,
Oh, you didn't know what, like, all the leagues and stuff he did after?
No, not
after
at all. I didn't
Yeah,
know.
okay.
I figured.
Well,
I
that's
figured
valid.
by now he's probably out of football, but a successful businessman. That's what I figured, because that's usually the
Negative,
path.
because he didn't learn.
probably owns some car dealerships. You know, no.
He didn't learn the lesson of
No,
how to
he's
work
still
for the
just
stuff you need to
he's
get.
still just partying.
Party and just whatever comes easy to him. So kids, that's a lesson. If you are talented, you still got to develop that talent, and you still got to learn how
Hard
to
work
work
beats talent.
all day, every day. I would give it 2.5, just because I do not like Johnny Manziel.
Yeah,
Either way,
you
Dark
don't
Side
like
of the Stream.
You don't like those flash in the pan money guys. You don't like those YouTubers.
It just, I know you get like, oh, hey,
Yeah, I like
these
it. I
guys are
like
great.
it. Hey, the
these
guy like the party. I'm down with that.
I understand, but again, it's just like, these guys, they really irritate me, because again, you see, especially when you played sports and you see these kids that have no talent at all. They're small, but they got all the heart in the world, and they barely get to play 4 plays in a season, right? And they're out there for those 3 plays, and they're just getting destroyed on the practice squad. They do it for the love of the game. You know what I mean?
Well, and you really get to see the two sides of the coin when you watch quarterbacks with Patrick Mahomes working, and you watch Johnny Manziel. Just a different work ethic.
Kobe Bryant, another great example. First one in, last one out, and probably one of the most raw talents in the entire NBA.
And then you probably also got NBA guys. Iverson.
Yep.
Practice.
Some guys just showed up and did it, and some didn't. And that's
you can get by, but if you want to achieve the top of the mountain, you got to put in some work.
Hell yeah.
Is that the lesson we learned?
I think so. And the next documentary we're going to watch is on Netflix. It's called Unknown Cave of Bones. And we're going to get a little archaeology dig going on. Indiana Jones and Jay Stevens. Watch these every Thursday, 9 a.m. on Facebook or
watch
YouTube
them every
Live.
day. What are you talking about? Watch them every day.
Download them podcast on our 104.7 The Cave app, or just listen to it live during my show at 9 a.m. or Jay's show at 6 p.m. every Thursday.
Or have us over to watch it at your house.
We are available for parties. I'm Mike the Intern. This is Jay Stevens.
This is where we're on it.
Reminding you, we watch movies, so you don't have to.
You don't have to.
It's Dark Side of the Stream on 104.7 The Cave.